Welcome back to the Cascades Onboarding Video Series, brought to you by PureFacts Financial Solutions. My name is Jonathan Kessel. In today's video, I want to talk about when it makes sense to position permanent life insurance with your clients. Most times it's when there's an annual excess cash flow. So in this case study, we have a male age 61 and a female age 60, self-employed corporate business owners who have retired this year. We've solved for max here to start with, which is $135,770. So this is the maximum sustainable disposable income that these folks can achieve until they're 101 and 100 years old, which is 10 years past the ages here in the circle. And oftentimes, like in our previous case, the client might say, well, we can never imagine spending more than X amount of dollars. In this case, let's say that's $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year. So what we would do first is edit our answers to depict that. So 135 is a little bit overkill. We could solve for a desired income now of $120,000 and recalculate the scenario. So what's happening here is $15,000 annually is saved back into the investments in the scenario instead of being spent, which will grow our net estate value. Before making this change, you can see that we have $932,000 in the net estate, making $135,000 of annual income. Now with only $120,000 of annual disposable income, we have $1.4 million of estate value, which is great for the client to see. We have something to give. Is it the best way to give, though? One further step we can make is to open the conversation to permanent life insurance. And while Cascades in of itself doesn't have the insurance tables built inside, it does a very good job of guiding us through this conversation. So let's make one more iteration here where we can select Edit Answers. We're going to go all the way down to Additional Income Needs. And we're going to add an additional income need from the husband's age 61 to age 80, so that's 20 years, of an additional income need of $15,000 a year, which now is going to represent the premium we're taking out of the investments, the taxable investments, that's going to be deposited to permanent life insurance. So if you recall, we had $120,000 of net disposable income and a $1.4 million net estate. Now that we've asked for $15,000 of additional income, obviously the net estate is going to reduce. But this time, I'm going to go to my life insurance illustration software, and I'm going to run an illustration for a 20-pay permanent life policy. In this case, I used a whole life participating policy. And I'm going to run my finger down the ledger and find age 90 and 91 for these clients, and I'm going to see what the future value of the death benefit is going to be. In this case, it was $770,000. I can't use the future value to put on top of this new net estate value. So as a result of requesting the additional income for 20 years, we've reduced it from 1.4 million, the net estate I mean, we've reduced it from $1.4 million to $1 million. But I'll take my $770,000 future value death benefit from the insurance, and I'm going to present value it back to today's dollars. And by doing that, it's actually $430,000. So if I add the $430,000 to basically my $1.1 million, I come to $1.53 million. For me to say to the client that, yes, by planning a certain way, we can save you roughly $100,000 in tax savings by simply rearranging the priority of your withdrawal, that's one thing. But to take it another step and illustrate how utilizing permanent life insurance can add an additional $100,000 of tax savings for $200,000 total really shows how we can add value to the retirement income planning conversation. Thank you.